Simple explanation of class trial. Class trial present whodunit. Vote correctly, the black one will receive point, but if you pick the wrong one, everyone besides the black one will be punished, and you have the right to leave the island. Oh snap, it's a standoff. Oh my, Monomi, my cute little sister, you're awfully quiet. What's happened to you? Dots. You've ascended the ladder of adulthood and reached the moon because you're a rabbit. Gesto! Oh my god, she's just taking it. One more time, bam, bam, bam. Jeez, how about this one? Oh, no. This'll be my final blow. Oh my god. What a tank. And what an absolute unit. It's useless. Please stop. I feel bad for Monomi. You're right. Now's not the time for me to horse around with Monomi. The class trials started, after all. The victim this time is Nagito, who is attempting to reveal the traitor for everyone's sake. Who in the world killed him? I'm so curious. If he was killed for trying to reveal the traitor. The traitor is obviously the killer. They were trying to shut up Nagito. No, that might not be it. Huh? Are you trying to protect the traitor? They didn't call out when we were in danger. Wait, don't tell me you're the traitor. Don't say something stupid. There's no way in hell I'm the traitor. Oop, boop, boop, boop. Now that's more like it. Why don't you guys hurry up and start arguing already? Dots. The traitor and the killer who murdered Nagito is here, right? Are they the same person? Or The killer taped up Nagito's mouth to shut him up. You telling they weren't torturing him? The reason Nagito's body was covered with wounds is because the killer was torturing Nagito. Sroichigato, why would you duct tape someone you're torturing? If you need information, why would you torture them with a duct tape over their mouth? But Nagito's mouth was covered with duct tape, so he wouldn't have been able to confess anything. If he was being tortured for information, they wouldn't have taped his mouth like that. Oh my, you're stupid. Literally, I think every single one of you watching is like, this makes accurate sense, but like, whatever. Let's hear him out. I just realized it. It's a trap. A trap? Stupid Hajime, you're caught in the trap. Stupid? Oh my god. It's like Nagito's mouth was taped shut. You obviously assumed he'd talk, right? But that was a trap. They hide the fact that he was interrogated. Kazuichi seems unusually confident. I should ask him why that is. Like you said, Nagito's mouth was taped shut. It's obviously assumed that he would talk, right? But that was the trap. The killer hid the fact that they interrogated Nagito. But if you tape his mouth shut, how is he supposed to answer anything? Pay attention. First, the killer tortured Nagito and got information about the bombs. Then after they killed him, no, there was blood on the outside. His mouth was taped before any of that happened. No, there's no doubt Nagito's mouth was covered up before he was beat up. What did you say? Who cares about the duct tape? We might as well settle this with rock, paper, scissors. No, we need to play the game. It's clear the duct tape was on his mouth before the torture began. Why do you always side with Hajime? Do you have a crush on him or something? I hope so, damn. Are you in elementary school or something? You were with us when we peeled off the duct tape to Nagito's mouth, right? The blood on Nagito's face wasn't under the duct tape, remember? The blood on his face came from his arm wounds, which means the duct tape was on his face before his arms were even wounded. And the duct tape had a lot of crinkles around his mouth. He must have been struggling to open his mouth under the duct tape. Perhaps the duct tape was used so he wouldn't be able to scream. Then it's like I said at the beginning, the tape wasn't for torture, it was to keep his mouth shut. However, if they wanted to seal his mouth, did they not need to hurt him with such ferocity? They probably had a deep grudge against Nagito. I mean, I feel them. both spiritually and physically. I don't know. Then are you saying the killer was trying to make him suffer? If so, that's freaking crazy. Did they go psycho or something? I mean, yeah, I think they did go a little excessive. You probably just needed to really stab the spear through his gut to end him. Or like they said, slit his throat with a knife. So, I mean, I guess I can agree with them on that one. That was a little excessive, but I'm still kind of happy that he died. Not gonna lie. No, they didn't just go crazy. Whoever did this must have been one crafty bastard. If not, they wouldn't have taken the time to set the fire to the crime scene and destroy all the evidence. Huh? The warehouse fire was for destroying evidence? We can't think of any other reason. But who could have done that? When the fire occurred, everyone was in the room gathered in the front of the warehouse. Yeah, and after we opened the door to the warehouse, the flame started burning in the very back. Which means it is plausible to think that nobody here set the fire. The killer isn't one of us, but that's not the case, huh? I mean, it's wishful thinking. Even if it was only a coincidence, the timing was just too perfect. Based on the pattern up until now, we should suspect that some kind of setup was used for this. Some kind of setup? Like what? I don't know that, but that has to be the pattern before. That's our Miss Sonia. You have such amazingly high intellect. Alrighty then, let's think about this based on what Miss Sonia thinks. Is that okay, Miss Sonia? Damn right it is! The reason for the fire, huh? They're right. They're right. We need to clear that up first. The direct cause of the fire was the oil lighter found at the crime scene, right? The killer used some kind of setup and lit the curtain with the lighter fire. Some kind of setup? They used the oil as an improvised fuse. They probably threw the lighter. Based on the shape of the oil lighter, it can stand upright while the flame is lit. If they tipped over the lighter in some way, it could have ignited the curtain. Some way? Maybe they used invisible thread. Maybe they've been tipped over with the sound waves. Perhaps before the opening of the door was the cause. Soria Sansera! Akane kicked it open and the domino effect of the panels lit the fire. I also agree that opening the door was what started the fire. Just as I thought, it was the wind pressure, a dust devil blown from glorious Japan. No, not wind pressure. They probably used the Monokuma panels. A huge number of tipped over Monokuma panels we found at the crime scene, right? It looked like they were scattered everywhere, but some of them were lying on top of each other in a single line. Just a single line leading from the warehouse door to the fire's origin. Does that mean anything? The killer probably arranged those Monokuma panels to create a domino effect. A domino effect? You mean like tiles kids play with, like lining them up and tipping them over? In place of those tiles, the killer used Monokuma panels. So when the door to the warehouse opened, the first panel toppled into the second, and from there, they fell like dominoes until they reached the lighter at the end. But wouldn't it be obvious that those big panels were falling over? The music was playing. That's probably why they turned off the lights in the warehouse, so we wouldn't notice them, and we also probably didn't hear them because of the music was blaring. So the reason the warehouse was dark was to hide the domino effect. And one more thing, there was something else that the killer did to hide the domino effect, right? The killer did something other to hide the domino effect. The music. Suka! I see! You're talking about the MP3 player, right? That hymn blaring throughout the warehouse masked the sound of the falling panels. The inside of the warehouse felt even darker because our eyes were still used to the bright sunlight outside. Within the darkness, a loud hymnal blared throughout the warehouse at full volume. Hey, do you guys hear something? Yeah, it's really damn loud. Does Nagito like listening to this depressing crap? No, I'm not talking about the music. Akane heard it though. And as if on cue, it suddenly started. That's it. So the strange sound was actually the sound of the panels falling. But those sounds weren't the only strange thing, right? Looking back on it, it was also strange that we opened the door to the warehouse. It's fine, I'll open it slowly. No, that's not the problem. Seriously, it'll be fine. With those words, Akane brushed off everyone's warnings and slowly opened the door to the warehouse. Clatter, clatter, clatter. Huh? It's not opening. Is there something blocking the door? I can barely open it. I knew it. It's a trap. Seriously, just stop, okay? Didn't I tell you it'd be fine? I just gotta use a little bit more force. What happened to opening it slowly? Akane ignored their protest, and with a mighty kick, the door flew open. Bam. Ah, so the door being blocked, the door was being blocked by a Monokuma panel. And when we opened the door, the domino effect started, and the falling panels eventually reached the lighter. Yeah, and that's how the warehouse caught on fire. At least, that's how it looks. Yeah, you don't look so sure. At the time, Akane mentioned that she could barely open the door. Because the panel was blocking it, right? But the blocked doorway, there wasn't enough space for a person to fit through, right? Is that a problem? It's a major problem. I mean, the door was the only entrance to the warehouse. The door was the only entrance to the warehouse. I see. So the problem Chiaki's talking about is the killer couldn't have left. If the panel was so close to the door that you could barely open it, the killer inside the warehouse wouldn't be able to leave, right? Now that you mention it, does that mean they were hiding inside? Who? We were all outside the warehouse, you know. Based on the patterns up until now, I believe some kind of setup was used. You don't have to think so hard. There's actually another person who could have possibly done this. Huh? You don't mean... But if that's true, this murder... Hijame, what do you mean? Dots. The person who set up the domino effect inside the warehouse, there's only one person who could have done that. The one person who was inside it at the time that was killed. Nagito himself. He did the setup. What if it was Nagito? Why'd you bring him up? He's the victim, you know. He wasn't just the victim, maybe. Huh? Not just the victim? What does that mean? He was the victim, as he was the perpetrator, too, maybe. Are you saying it was a suicide? Don't be stupid. His body was covered in torture wounds, or did you already forget? Are you saying those were self-inflicted? But Nagito might do something like that, don't you think? That's not the issue. He was tied up, remember? Even for a creep like Nagito, it'd be impossible for him to tie his own arms and legs. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, as long as you understand. It seems we need to discuss how Nagito was able to tie himself up. Need to discuss? That's not necessary at all. No matter how much you think about it, it's clearly impossible. I don't think so, fam. Like he said, it's impossible to think about it, but I feel like I'm overlooking something. Think about it. To actually tie up your own arms and legs? It's obviously impossible. Tying up the legs is one thing, but tying both arms would be impossible. You couldn't do much with a free arm. It'd be impossible if you were by yourself. How about if you used your teeth, or if you used your front tail? Oh, I get it now. Dirty joke! Is that a dirty joke? If your assumption that Nagito committed suicide is correct, Nagito should have tied himself up too. That's okay, right? To actually tie up your own arms and legs? Soichigado, one of his arms was actually free! He burned the end of a rope to make it look like it wasn't. Hold on a sec, isn't that premise flawed? What? I mean, it's no mistake his arms and legs were... No, it shouldn't have been both of his arms. The rope on his right arm was completely burned up. Based on that, you can say he wasn't tied up. He planned it. That was just burned up by the fire. It should have been tied up before then. But then why wasn't his coat singed? Why wasn't the rest of his arm burned up a little bit? It burned up because of the fire. Like you said, it might look like that. But that was part of the trap. There's concrete evidence that proves it. The proof that the burn rope on Nagito's right arm is a trap. His right sleeve. It should have been burned up too. Take a close look at his right sleeve. Even though the rope was burned up, his sleeve wasn't burned at all. Wouldn't you agree? A burn like this, no matter how you think about it, is unnatural. That rope was burned in advance, so it looked like it was burned up in the fire. Then Nagito's right arm wasn't tied up, right? He was able to move it freely, right? Yeah, that should be the case. Hajime, that's awesome. I'll let you cop a feel if you want. Hell yeah, brother. Akane, you should not give it away for free. Make sure you pay up first. That's definitely wrong. Fine, I just gotta get a Benjamin from him before I let him touch me, right? Guys, we're gonna die if we don't get the right answer here. I'm just saying, like... That's not what I meant. I'm talking about Nagito. I mean, even if his right hand wasn't tied up, the knife was still stabbed into it, you know? It's impossible to stab a knife in your own right hand with your right hand. That much is obvious. Hajime, you tricked me. Give me back the Benjamin. Not only did she charge me, she wants the money back? What the heck? Hold on, there should be a way. And hurry up and spill it. If it's something lame, I'll make you give back Benjamin with 10,000% interest. Oh shit, god damn it. You're charging me interest now? A way to stab yourself in your right hand using your right hand. It's okay, there's definitely an answer for this. I don't think that Monokuma plushie was just for show, brothers. Even if Nagito's right hand was free, how could he stab himself with his right hand using his right hand? If he threw the knife into the air and let the knife fall, could it have stabbed his hand that way? Is he a throwing knife expert? Maybe he propped up the knife somehow. Soya Sansera! I'm agreeing with Chiaki, hell yeah. The life-size Monokuma plushie, that must have been what was used to prop up the knife. Makes sense, that's why there was a big hole in the plushie's stomach. They inserted the knife into the hole and propped it up, then slammed his hand onto it. If that's the case, he had placed the plushie near him, and also explains the mysterious blood on the plushie. So the blood on the plushie came from Nagito after he stabbed stabbed the knife through his own right hand. I see, so that's the trick. But for a moment, I seriously thought Monokuma died or something. A bleeding plushie is super scared. It's got the same fear factor as a doll whose hair grows too long. After stabbing his hand, he no longer needed the plushie to cast it off toward the fire's origin point. He probably thought the fire would incinerate it and destroy the evidence. So, what do you think now, Fuyuhiko? I get what you're saying, but the wound on his right hand, but there's still one huge problem. The spear, basically saying Nagito committed suicide by impaling himself with a spear, right? To think about it in that order, getting killed by a spear would have been the last thing to happen to Nagito. If that's true, how is that possible? If he can grab the spear with his right hand, if he can't grab a spear with his right hand, if the knife is stabbed into it, then his left hand was tied up, then he probably took the spear first and endured the pain and stabbed the knife into his right hand. There is a limit to his constitution. If you got penetrated from something so big and thick, you would die instantly. God damn, why do you gotta say it like that? Dots. I'm sorry, I didn't catch that at all. Like I said, if you got penetrated by something so big and thick, you would die instantly. Say it one more time, I need a record for it, for reasons. You bastard, you better cut it out. Like she said, in that condition, it's very difficult to stab yourself with a spear. It'd be hard to use a spear with a knife stabbed into your right hand while your left hand is tied up. So you're saying it's impossible. Hard, but not impossible. Phrasing, Ross. I just said hard. But no matter what I think, I still believe Nagito's death was caused by someone else. I also agree with that. To think that one of us could kill someone with such cruelty, I could never believe that. You say you can't believe it. Oop, boop, boo. You just don't want to believe it, right? But that's why you keep getting betrayed over and over again, right? Same goes for this time, too. You just shut your mouth. And it's against the rules to interfere with everyone. If you ever think about doing anything, I have a plan of my own. Damn, she's like snapping back at him. Oh, snap. Yeah, Monomi's sassing me. But it's just what Monokuma said. We've been betrayed over and over again so far. This might also be the same. Calling this a suicide takes too much for granted, and it's too convenient. Then are you saying there is a killer among us, Kazuichi? Of course, that doesn't include Miss Sonia and me. And Kazuichi said, it's true we've been constantly betrayed. But even if I'm betrayed again, I still want to believe in everyone. No matter how many times I may be betrayed, I still want to believe in everyone. I also want to believe there's no killer, but suicide is unimaginable. Do you really think so? But you said it too. It's impossible for him to stab someone with a spear in his condition. She didn't say it was impossible. I did say difficult, but I never said impossible. Huh? I feel that there's somewhere you could have stabbed himself with the spear. What kind of way? I don't know. You don't know? It's impossible to figure out by myself, so let's think about it together. That's how we made it this far, up till now. Everyone working together? She's right, we made it through several ordeals up till now by doing that. Then, even now. Alright, let's do this. How did Nikito stab himself with the spear? Let's work together and think it through. Hell yeah, Chucky. When the spear stabbed Nikito, his right hand was covered by the knife, right? And he was only able to move his left hand. But his left hand was also tied up. That rules out his left hand. Shuichigato, remember the blood on his hand, the pattern it had. He was holding on to something. Hold on, it's still too early to dismiss the possibility that he used his left hand. Why? I mean, his left hand was tied up, you know. But there was something off about his left hand. The blood stain on the palm of his hand. Don't you think it looked somewhat strange? The only blood was on the lower area of his palm. Beyond that point, the blood stain suddenly cuts off, right? When the blood splattered, that's as far as it reached, right? That settles the description of the blood stain, but that's not the only unnatural blood stain. Look, there's also blood on the back of his hand, around the middle joints of his fingers. Like you said, it looks a little unnatural bloodstain, but what's wrong with it? We might need to think and use our imaginations for a bit. If there's blood on his palm on the back, if there's blood on his palm on the back of his hand, and there was on his left hand, well, what was his left hand doing when the blood splattered? What was Nagito's hand doing when the blood splattered? He was gripping something, gripping the end of the cord to the spear. When the blood splattered, he was probably gripping with his left hand. That's why there's such a strange looking bloodstain on the palm of his hand and on the back of his hand. He was gripping his front tail? Why is this such a sexual case? Can we just calm down? I know we're all horny teenagers, but you know, we got a case to solve, brothers. Perish the thought, he was obviously grabbing the spear. Now that you mention it, compared to the rest of his body, the wounds on his left arm are pretty mild. He probably made his wound mild on purpose so he could keep his strength while he gripped the spear. But even if he held the spear his tied up left hand, it'd be impossible for him to stab himself. That's right, that's the problem. Hey Chiaki, what do you think? Dots. Pass it on to you. Bop it. Spin it. Pull it. Flick it. Pass it. Bump, 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 bump. Hey, don't tell me you're getting sleepy. At times like this, you should always strike for a good angle. Just like fixing an old TV. Ah, I got it. Maybe. Huh? Really? Yeah, like I thought. It's no mistake that Nagito was gripping the spear, I think. However, what's important is what section of the spear he was gripping. What section of the spear he was holding? The shaft. Yeah. No, the cord. Suka! That's right, instead of the handle, Nagito must have been holding onto the cord. That's where the metal weight at the there was the metal weight on the tip of the cord. There's also bloodstains on that part too. Plus the joint between the weight and the cord had a bloodstain shaped like it was cut off by something. Isn't the size of the cutoff section about the same as a human fist? Ah, you're right. So this part was where Nagito was gripping, huh? And then the blood that was supposed to end up here ended up getting on Nagito's left hand. But why is it so important to know what part of the spear he was gripping? You're not gonna say he gripped the tip of the cord, swung the spear around, and stabbed himself, right? Dots. That is where the clue to solve the mystery resides, right, Chiaki? Dots. I am sorry. Of course, this mystery will not be solved that easily. Nagito was gripping the cord extending from the butt of the spear with his left hand. But from there, how would he stab himself in the stomach with a spear? Dots. It seems we are stuck. Shall we have tea time? At a time like this, how about we stick to the plan to think one step at a time instead of expecting the answers all at once? That's a long plan name. I like it though. It's kind of like Ibuki's song titles. One step at a time? What does that mean? Take a step at a time, we can do anything that we wanna do. Let's focus on the spear first, namely where it is and how it was positioned just before it impaled Nagito. How it was positioned? Nagito was facing up, and the spear was stabbed through his stomach. So if that's just before that, could it be? The state of the spear and the fact that Nagito was holding the tip of the cord attachment. If I put those two together, think about it, I should be able to figure it out. Where the spear was in the state before it stabbed Nagito. Logic die, baby. He dangled the spear above himself and held the cord so that way all he had to do was let go and it would impale him. Bam! The spear impaled Nagito as he was laying face up. It must have been perpendicular to him just before that. Perpendicular in the middle of the air? If Nagito did that by himself, did he have some sort of ESP? That'd be awesome, but probably used the ceiling grinder directly above him. Nagito probably slung the cord over the ceiling grinder, and using that as a support, he hoisted the spear directly above him. As if Nagito let go of the cord, the spear would have fallen and impaled him right where he was laying face up. I noticed the red streak on the ceiling grinder. It probably got smeared when he there during the setup. The blood on the cord probably rubbed off on the ceiling grinder as the spear was falling. So how about it? Using this method, Nagito could have impaled himself with the spear. Are you serious? He really committed suicide like that? He probably chose the spear so he could commit suicide like that. If someone else did it, there's no reason they'd go through all the trouble to kill someone with a spear. I agree. When I was investigating this case, I kept thinking over and over how strange it was. Why did the killer use the knife and the spear so differently? So you're saying he needed to use the spear to pull off his trick? Dots. Then this is for real. He really committed suicide? Every single wound on his body, was that all him? Not just that, he did all that while gripping the spear? He's fucking crazy. The spear should have been stabbed. The spear should not have stabbed Nagito until the very end, which means Nagito wounded himself while he was gripping that spear, right? Did he put the duct tape on his mouth too? He probably covered his own mouth so you wouldn't hear him screaming in pain. Did he need to go that far? That's beyond crazy. Why would he need to do that to himself? He was probably trying to get us to make a mistake. By committing a suicide that looked like murder, he was trying to steer us toward the wrong answer. His goal was to get us all executed. And that's why he stabbed himself over and over again? He did all that He did that because he wanted us to die that bad? That's messed up. That's seriously so messed up. Yeah, that's our Nagito. Jeez, I was starting to feel a little sympathetic toward him. How stupid of me. I completely underestimated his capacity for malice. A mind-boggling malice that threatens us even after he's died. That's the form of malice he took. Okay, as much as I hated him, he still continually told us that he believes in us. I don't think his intention was suicide. I'm still not sold on his thought that it was suicide. I still think there's more to the story, boys. I had forgotten all about it until now. If he was here now, he'd probably be sneering at us. However, there is one thing I still do not understand. He said he would reveal the traitor, right? Whatever became of that? He was probably planning to kill the traitor along with the rest of us. So why did he not just do that in the first place? If he had no qualms with killing everyone, he did not have to cause a bomb to reveal the traitor. I bet the bomb scare was part of the strategy behind the trick. He made us split up and search for the bomb so that none of us had an alibi. He created a scenario where any of us could have killed him. He tried to make us doubt each other and tried to hide the truth behind his suicide. Did he cause the bomb scare for that reason alone? He's a freaking bastard who killed himself for his delusional grandeur. It's not that unthinkable. You are right, I suppose. No, Sonia, I don't think they're right. Yeah, it appears we've come to a conclusion. No, we haven't. That bastard Nagito committed suicide. It was all done by him, so we'd be executed. Remember what he told us before he died. He would weed out the traitor, even if it meant killing himself. But I don't think he would straight up kill himself without intention. There's more to this story. That should be okay, right? Right? What? Are you not satisfied? No, I agree that Nagito killed himself, but I feel like there's something that doesn't make sense. It's probably just my imagination. Dots. Why? I mean, I sort of understand what she's talking about. I don't think it's a mistake to assume that Nagito committed suicide, but why do I feel so uneasy about it? Is it because we don't know who the traitor is, or... So what are you gonna do? Is it okay to proceed with the voting time? What do you think, Akane? Well, there's no doubt that Nagito's death was a suicide. Oh well, I guess my gut was wrong sometimes. Akane, if I've known anything about this game and your personality, we should trust your gut. We're not ending it right now. You are right. It is not as though we could draw any other conclusion. Then, it's okay to end it here, huh? That means we're done with this last class trial, and we can all leave the island, right? It's okay to reach such a happy ending here, right? Then it's okay. It's okay to say, you've decided the killer? Understood. Then voting time? No! Hold on a sec. No. Hold on. Why? Dots. Sorry, just a little bit more. I want you guys to wait a little bit more. I can't help but feel like there's something we overlooked. Like who the traitor is? But the issue of who killed Nagito, right? Even if we identify the traitor, the conclusion won't change. That's true, but the mystery isn't about who the traitor is. Huh? No matter how you look at it, Nagito's death is a suicide. But I'm a little worried, you know. I'm worried about starting the voting time while there's still a mystery. Hey, what do you mean it's not about who the traitor is? What kind of mystery is left? How he died! It didn't specify it! There's one thing that doesn't make sense, and it relates to Nagito's death. Plus, it's something even Nagito couldn't influence. He couldn't even tamper with the evidence for it. Something related to Nagito's death, and it's something that he couldn't include, that he couldn't have messed with. You're gonna keep going, and here I thought we finally finished. Something related to Nagito's death, a piece of evidence that he couldn't mess with. The Monokuma file didn't state how he died. The spear didn't kill him. Is it about the Monokuma file? Yeah, that's it. Huh? There was something suspicious in the Monokuma file? The victim is Nagito Komeda. The body was discovered inside the warehouse near Monokuma plushie factory. The estimated time of death is believed to be noon sharp. Not only is there a spear stabbed in his stomach, there are multiple stab wounds on each of his thighs. Furthermore, there are lacerations on his left arm and a knife impaled through his right hand. None of them were specified it was a killing blow. The suspicious part of the Monokuma file that Chiaki is worried about is, what is it? What's hidden in the Monokuma file? Oh my god, do I have to spell it out? I've literally been saying it this whole time, boys. Oh my god, here it goes. Oh my god, here we go. god! The cause of death! Jesus Christ! Oh my god! I was so focused that whole time. I'm gonna leave that one in, boys. I'm gonna leave that. That's the one I was talking about. Oh my god. Oh, that was fucking ridiculous. In this particular case, this Monokuma file, there's no specific cause of death. Not only is there a spear stabbed in his stomach, there's also multiple stab wounds on each of his thighs. Furthermore, there's a laceration on his left arm and a knife impaled through his right hand. Isn't it weird? Until now, the files only specified the cause of death. But the cause of death is obvious, is it not? No, it's not. It would have specified it if it didn't matter. The spear in Nagito's stomach, it is obvious just by looking that it was the cause of death. Maybe it's not included and it's not important enough to write about. No, as we know from Monokuma files, if it is not included, it's something that gives away the killer's identity. So it's really important, and it's something that isn't obvious. Well, Monokuma, I plead the fifth. There he goes again. I'm so appalled that you have nothing to say. But even during Gundam's case, and before during Lacan's case, the thing he purposely omitted from the Monokuma file was always the most important mystery in the case. Are you saying that applies this time too? Hold on a sec then. Are you saying there's more to Nagito's death? Are you suggesting again that his death wasn't a suicide? You guys are the ones who said it was a suicide in the first place. No, I don't think it's a mistake to call Nagito's death a suicide, but it's not just a suicide. Dots. Come to think of it, did Nagito really commit suicide just to get us all killed? Are you sticking up for him? That's not what I mean. I mean it in a bad sense. Bad sense? I just remembered that his malice always defined our expectations, and that concerns me. For example, would that malice just end here? Huh? Dots. Did Nagito's malice drive him to risk his life for the truth we'd reach this easily? I mean, this is Nagito we're talking about, you know? Ooh, poo-poo, how interesting. You sure do believe in Nagito, huh? Because you believe in his malice, you continue to suspect his malice. I see. I guess that's what passes for friendship these days. What friendship? Dots. What should we do, you guys? Should we proceed with the vote? I think we should keep going until everyone's satisfied, even just to be safe. You are right. We only get one chance to vote, after all. Just to be safe, huh? You guys I guess you have no choice. If that's the case, I'll do my best to go along with it. This is freaking annoying. I keep burping now, I'm sorry. But if you guys just say you're doing it, then no way am I backing out. Hey, Monokuma, you heard us. The voting's gonna have to wait. We've come this far. Let's work hard till the very end. If we work together, everything will be alright. That's what I believe. Aww. Splendid. You guys are so splendid right now. That's right. If all your hopes are united, no despair can shake you. If all our hopes are united, no despair can shake you, huh? Now that I think about it, Nagito said the same thing. Absolute hope can overcome any despair. He said he was yearning for that. Then this situation we're in might be the thing that Nagito wanted all along. Dots. No, never mind. I'm probably overthinking. Dots. Boop, 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 boop. My heart was racing like crazy when I thought voting time was gonna start, but, well, if you think about it rationally, there's no way it's gonna happen. We haven't done this bit yet. Most of the players probably figured that out too. You're the only one who didn't know. Isn't that right, Monomi? Dots. Hey, how much longer are you planning to sulk? Let's get along like we always do. Dots. More dots. More dots. Even more dots. Alright, you passed. Friendship is measured by how long you can stand in silence when you're all alone with someone else. So, Monomi and I are the bestest of best friends. Don't say such stupid things. I hate you so much right now. Enough. Why do you have to be hated? Why do I have to be hated that much? Besides the fact that you snap at me like that, I don't trust you at all. Not even a teeny 1mm bit. How sad. Distrusting your friend is much more shameful than being betrayed by that friend, you know. We weren't friends in the first place. Then as your older brother, let me say this. You're not even my brother. It's sad to live a life without friendship. That's even sadder than watching a high school rom-com full of guys. I mean, honestly, I don't mind that. Dude, I hate when, like, there's, like, some sort of, like, fan service anime, but, like, there's also guys in it, too. And then, like, the outro just has, like, the girls splashing around the water. It's like, where's the dick? Come on, now. I want to see some pecs, man. Oh, and then and then I'm gonna fucking throw some shade at some animes. Why the fuck do they leave the nipples out? Hear me out. Like, the dude's nipples, like, they just don't edit them in sometimes. I'm like, I guess I don't have nipples now. Well, there may be some demands for that. I fell for it. I totally took the man bait. Hell yeah, man bait, brothers. Alrighty then, my little taters. That's gonna do it for the first half of the trial. Hope you all are enjoying it. Damn, Nagito's a tough nut to crack. Whew. The testosterone and testicles on that man. As much as I hated him, he had balls. I'll give him that. He had fucking balls, man. Not as big as Chiaki's. But, you know, I gotta say that. Chiaki's got bigger testicles. But, damn. Who would have thunk all this time we've been playing into his trap? But let's now spring the trap in the next one later today. Hope to see y'all there.